Hey, welcome back to another episode of Flavor and Fiction. If this is your first time joining me, Flavor and Fiction is a segment where I read a book from my 2024 reading challenge, and then I give you a short book review, no spoilers, and then I make a recipe related to the book, so you get your flavor and your fiction. So this time the category was a contemporary romance novel, and I chose Honey and Spice by Bolu Babalola. Sorry if I messed that up. Bolu Babalola. And there were a lot of good foods from Nigeria mentioned in the book, so you're going to be really mad at what I ended up choosing. I chose apple. I know, but it's fall, it's time, and there's a recipe that I've been waiting to try, so I decided to just go for it. So today I will be making an apple coffee cake. As a matter of fact, it has just come out of the oven, and it's over there cooling down. I'm going to be taking it into work to share with my coworkers, and you may get to see a taste test from one of my coworkers at the end of this video. But first, let's get into the book. This is the story of Kiki, who is a college student, and she runs her own college radio show with her best friend, and they talk about matters of the heart, and she's known for giving advice to stay away from players. And she's usually like calling out bad behaviors of men on campus and exposing people. So like that's pretty much what she's known for. She's gone through college like casually dating so far, making sure not to invest her heart, because in high school she was, she got played pretty bad. And so she's not looking forward to ever having that happen to her again. So imagine her surprise when she develops a strong attraction to Malachi, he's a man who's been seen around campus, who I think he's junior or senior. And he has a reputation for being a player because there's always women fighting over him. And, so she's had her nose turned up at him for quite some time. But when they're thrown together to work on a project, they're forced to get to know each other. And she feels her resolve start to crumble a little bit. So it begs the question, is he no longer a player, or has he perfected his game, basically? So I'm not going to give any spoilers, but that's the premise of the book. It's about whether, someone should let go of their preconceived notions, even if it's based off of a bad experience, and open their heart, or is it smarter to keep your guard up? So that's kind of where this book is leading you. This was the author's debut novel, and it's already an international bestseller. So kudos to you. And I look forward to reading more from her. The story had a good flow and pace, and it wasn't super predictable. A lot of contemporary romances, or a lot of romances, tend to follow certain tropes, and you can kind of see where it's going. Sometimes there's a twist, but this was... every time I thought I knew exactly what was about to happen, I was a little bit wrong. So I like that. I like to be surprised. And it has a little bit of spice, but not too much. So it's kind of the perfect book for this in-between seasons. I think it fits in like right now. So 2 thumbs up from me. Go get the book. And now I'm going to show you the video of how I made this coffee cake. And then I'm going to take it into work, and hopefully one of my coworkers will give a little review for you. So stay tuned. Start by taking your cold butter and cutting that up. I added in salt because I only had unsalted butter. Then you add in your brown sugar. Then you get a bigger bowl, so you can add in your flour and your cinnamon. And you're going to crumble that up before adding in your pecans, your chopped pecans. Then you put that in the fridge, and then in another bowl you add your flour and your sugar, some Greek yogurt, plain, some whole milk, melted butter, 2 eggs, more cinnamon, some baking powder, some vanilla, some salt, and then you give that a good mix. Don't over mix. And then you add in your apples and kind of fold those in. And when it looks like this, you want to spread it into your buttered pan. And I didn't show it on camera, but this is where you would sprinkle over the topping and put it in the oven for about 40 minutes. And it comes out looking like this. Nice and toasty. So let's take this to work and see who likes it and who doesn't.
Hey, the big taste test. Oh, it's a little bit hard to tear apart.
Where?
I'm a little thirsty.
It's a little dry.
It's
I mean, it's a coffee cake. It's supposed to have coffee.
got a lot of crust.
I knew there must have been.
The apples
What?
do give it a nice little taste, but
A little coffee with it?
1 through 10, what would you give it?
there's a lot going on.
What don't you like?
I think I don't like the I'm gonna tell you what part.
Pecan?
No, it's like it's gritty. Like I don't know why it's gritty. What ingredient makes it gritty? Gritty.
The crumble on top?
No.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
It's the pecan.
It's not the pecan. I think it's the crust or the crumble, but then it's mixed in with a little bit of apple and the cinnamon that makes it nice and sweet. I'm gonna give it a 7. Nothing you make is bad. No, I'm sincerely saying that, but it's not one of my favorites.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give it a 7. I'm gonna give it a 7.
Well, everyone else loves it.
Oh, yeah.
7.
Okay.
Yes. This is a little add-on. So the pecans give it a little bit more of a crunch, a necessary crunch that fulfills the desire to have it added to like a missing,
Texture?
a missing element. Like the pecan is a great touch. I'm gonna give that a 7.8 now. That was a 7.8, not quite an 8. 8 is like really, really flawless almost. But 7.8 is getting closer with the pecans. Do the pecans, people.
So as you can see, it was a very easy recipe, and I'm sure whoever tried it at work loved it. And it's a good recipe for autumn. So now's the time to try the book and the recipe. And as usual, I will put a link to both in the description below. So be sure to support. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Flavor and Fiction. I'll see you next time. Happy reading and happy eating.